It's DHA's Reconnect with Rockers. I'm so excited because I'm reconnecting with an old friend who's not old. We're not old, but we've been friends for 25 years. Has it been 25 years? It has, I think.
It has. It's been, look at the early 90s, right?
Yay. Gary Hoey, the king of guitar. 30 years, though, for you of guitar mastery. It has just been what an incredible career. And I want to talk to you a little bit about quarantine. We're going to do that afterwards because you have sort of redeveloped all kinds of things I've seen in quarantine, which I love and I'm a huge fan of. But you're going out. You got the solo retrospective tour, which is coming up and kicking off in March, which is here already. Amazing. So tell me a little bit about this. We've got a Jersey date at a place called the Landis Theater.
Yes.
In Vineland, New Jersey. So
Yep.
How did this come about and how are you going to do it in pandemic times, Gary?
Well, first of all, it's very good to see you. And I did want to say you look awesome. And I just want to say 30 years ago, whatever it was, when my first hit single, Hocus Pocus, came out, which was a remake, WDHA was one of the first in the country to play it. So I just had to throw that out there. So thank you for starting off my career and giving me, all these years of support. But so what happened is the COVID thing hit and my agent called and said, listen, there's not a lot we can do, but there's a few kind of limited capacity shows that we might be able to do and get in and out with a small crowd. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I work for you guys. The offers weren't what we normally get financially. They were lower offers because the venues can't make as much money either. So I said, well, maybe I'll go out and do a solo show and I'll play kind of songs over my 20 album career. And I'll do a retrospective of like some of my old songs, some of the new, go back to the shredding guitar and then pick up an acoustic and make it a night of guitar kind of storytelling and talk about how my career started. And my agent said, well, let me pitch it. And a few places said, yeah, that sounds great. So that's how it happened because I was trying to think of a way to stay working. And I wish I could take my band. So it's going to be a solo show, but it's a nice way of actually reinventing, something after 30 years, And
I love that you're doing like a storyteller's kind of thing, where you're really going to be connecting with the audience. These are intimate shows, as everything we do these days is very intimate. And I think that is really beneficial for the fans too. And there's so many of these dates that are completely sold out. Like I think that
Yes.
the PA dates and the New York date completely sold out, so you can't get near them. So tickets still available for the Landis Theater. I would jump on them because they're not going to last very long. So tell me about doing the stories and how do you know what to talk about? And are you changing it up every night? And is it just one of those, like almost like a comedian where, sometimes you wonder when comedians go on stage and they can just, is it just a natural thing? Is it like something will trigger you? An audience member may yell something out at you. So how are you working that?
Well, I feel like it's something where I'm gonna attempt to go through basically when my career started. Hocus Pocus in 1993 was a remake of an old song, so I wouldn't mind starting off the show kind of talking about how my career started and how I got a call from Ozzy Osbourne, after sending a demo tape to go to Los Angeles, coming from a small town on the East Coast, and just talk about going to California and getting that opportunity to play with one of my heroes. And even though I didn't get the Ozzy gig, it led me to a Warner Brothers record contract, and my career started. And then I got to score a surf movie called Endless Summer too. And so I was doing movie soundtracks and it was a real exciting time. I was 27 years old. I was a young guy. And this guitar actually hanging back here, this is actually the guitar that I played in the Hocus Pocus video.
Wow.
And if people remember the MTV days, I played this guitar and we had a little monkey in the video, this sweet monkey. And so I'm going to start the show with that guitar, which started my career. I haven't played on tour with this guitar in 30 years. And then I'll go into maybe some surf music and talk a little bit about, going to Bruce Brown, the director's house in Santa Barbara, and him sitting there, biting the heads off crawdads and sucking out the heads and like drinking beer with me going, hey kid, let me hear a riff. And I'm going, well, let's do Lowrider. And I started going, So I wanted to do Lowrider because it was a surf movie. And then, I showed him some original riffs. And next thing you know, I'm scoring a movie. never done it in my life. So I'm going to talk about just little stories about how things got started, and then play some songs and maybe tell more stories, and obviously some funny stuff too.
Well, the natural progression of your career too. And I always call when you do the blues stuff, that's almost like kind of the purge for you. Because every couple of years you come out and you do like a blues record and you get all your blues out of you. And then you do something else. And then you do like another blues record and you work with different artists and you do something, kind of metal with Lita Ford. And then you do more blues again. And you kind of get that out of you. Your career has been a very organic, natural progression of just sort of, I think when you look back on it now, it's probably the perfect career for an artist, for a musician, because you've been able to do so many different things, and they just sort of evolve from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, almost like there's no planning involved at all. And I think that that's where the greatest things grow from.
Yes. Oh, so true. I mean, some of my best ideas came from just having fun and saying, hey, what if we did this? What, just do it for the fun. And that whole thing with the Ho Ho Hoey Christmas series, I mean, that was literally my manager and I saying, hey, let's make some songs we can send to our friends at radio. Maybe they'll spin it for commercial breaks and stuff. and here it is, 25 years later, we've done so much with Christmas music. And I remember the first riff I recorded was, I wanted to do, I want to do the 12 Days of Christmas, but I came up with this riff and I was like, and I put this to it, and it married the beautiful Christmas with the heavy, and I created something kind of new. And then Trans-Siberian Orchestra came out around the same time, 1995, and we were sort of paving the way for rock and roll Christmas, to have like the Grinch and all these heavy songs that I did. And you're absolutely right. Every time I move into something new, it just makes sense to me at the time, and I feel a challenge, and I feel like I always have to try to reinvent myself or do something that feels like it really is going to make people feel good when they hear it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and you really invented rock and roll Christmas. Because I've been, at the station and in radio for a long time. And the songs we played when I first started were The Waitress's Christmas Wrapping, McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, Lennon and Yoko, Elton maybe. Like there was not rock and roll Christmas. All of a sudden now, everybody every Christmas is like, oh, we're doing Christmas tunes. Like the Offspring have only done Christmas tunes for the last couple of years. Everybody wants to do rock and roll Christmas tunes. You invented that. That was your deal. You invented it. You brought the rock and roll back to Christmas, a little bit of the surf. We still got a little bit of that surf too, in all those Christmas tunes, which we loved because it reminded us of summer, but we didn't know why we loved it. So you were the innovator for that. And now, is it 25 years of Ho Ho Hoing? 25?
It is 25 years. And, it's ironically, it was 25 years this year during COVID.
Yeah.
So I was able to do a handful of shows that were some limited capacities, which was nice. I got to go to a few places, and then we did a couple of live streams, the one at Daryl's house and stuff, and another one, and they were really successful. I mean, we had so many people watching online, and that made me feel so good because I feel like Christmas didn't get canceled, because for 25 years I've been going on the road and doing charity work, Toys for Tots. I mean, I've done bowling for turkeys and at the market for charity. We've done, so many events around Christmas to help people out. And so
you helped us out when we were doing our Home for the Holidays. And you sent me a whole bunch of stuff and signed stuff and so that we could auction off and do stuff for our animal shelters. You were always the guy that whenever we reached out for anything like that, you were always like, yeah, how do I get involved? What can I do? What do you need? What am I able to give? So you've done that for years and years and years. And, always a big part of, the Gary Hoey brand and what you do. You've always been a give back kind of guy. So yeah, Christmas not getting canceled, especially on the 25th anniversary of Ho Ho Ho. You know what? You can do like when everything is open again and we're able to do it at Christmas time, you can do like the 25 years plus one, everybody still wants to come out for that.
You know what? It's funny you should say that because We did. We had a really cool like t-shirt design and everything. So I think you're right. We're gonna have to like back up the record and go and just redo it some way and still call it the 25th.
Oh, absolutely. We're not going to let that go by. And you know what's cool too? Was it 5 years ago, maybe more than 5 years ago, you did the Blues Rock Reactor, you did your whole like instructional video and everything. And I look at some of the stuff that you are doing now, and you're always, if fans are not following you yet on social media, follow Gary, because the thing that I've noticed the most about what you do on social media, everything is so positive. You just are very, very positive in a time I think that people need positivity the most. And you did this instructional video years ago. Now it seems like life has become an instructional video almost. So how do you feel like that sort of primed you for the things that you're doing now on social media?
Well, I've always been a positive person. I mean, that's always been my energy anyway, is be positive. And I appreciate that so much. And, even when, like you were saying, for radio for events or charity events, like if someone calls me, I always like to be the guy that says yes. Because there's people you call that say, nah, I don't know. Let me see. What's it paying? Like for me, I'd like to be the guy that says, you know what? Let me see if I can make this work. And I have helped out so many people that was the little guy in the little town that no one would answer their call or no one would help them out. And I've seen how much it's lifted their lives in a big way. And so with social media, I've always been really battling with, am I overdoing it? Am I too sappy? Am I too positive? Am I too much? And then I decided one day that it's the one person's life that I want to change that makes the difference to me. So when I make a post, if I get one private message from someone that says, man, when you said I got to get back to health, or I got to, keep my chin up, it really lifted me out of a dark place. Then I go, okay, that's it right there. And, I had my social media manager on for most of COVID. I recently had to let her go. I love her to death, but, money's tight for everyone. So I've been doing it officially all myself, lately 100%. And it's a lot of work. But I just think, and I tell this to people, don't worry about how many likes you get. Don't worry about all that. Worry about the one person's life that you affected in a positive way, and keep pushing out your positive things. Even if people don't, respond in a big way, you're still connecting to someone.
I have to elaborate on that a little bit, because when you say, yeah, I always want to be the guy who, if I can help out the little guy, I've seen that firsthand. Because we've had like listeners that have had issues going on in New Jersey, and I think you know what I'm going to say. And like you've like played shows for people to help, a family member of one of your fans who's battling cancer. You've been the guy that if it's doable, you do it. If it's doable, you do it. And I've seen that firsthand, where you're like, hey, we're doing this show because a friend reached out to me, and this kid's, dad's got cancer and he wants to raise some money for treatment. And I'm just going to come in and we're going to do something in Jersey. And I've seen you do that, and you do everything like that, really, just out of the goodness of your heart and the availability of your schedule. So that's definitely something that we need a little more of that. And, you walk the walk and talk the talk at the same time. You're a rare breed, my friend, a rare breed.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I think it's if it's someone's time, what does it take to give up your time and your energy to make a difference in lives? I mean, it's, if I'm a celebrity in some way to somebody, or I can draw a crowd or energy to something, to me, like that's like the gift beyond being able to, do this every day and love what I do. It's an added bonus. And, and I think back in the day, a lot of musicians were more proactive with, whether it was trying to help people or to just be more politically conscious, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not a political guy, but I think use your platform, man. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You get so much out of it. You really do. You almost become addicted to it in a way, where when you are not able to help out, we love being involved at WDHA with our community. And I feel like, how much more can we do? Like, what more can we do? Because, you're limited now, and it really does become a part of the essence of who you are. And you realize how important, it really is. You've also been a camp counselor at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, which has been very rewarding for you, working with this younger generation. And I love more than anything seeing now how many young people that have been in quarantine are picking up and buying guitars. Have you read about this? This has been so inspirational to see, because when people say, oh, I don't know if the kids are that interested, stop. Just stop, because they are interested, and to see everybody picking up a guitar has been amazing. So talk to me about your involvement with Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and is there like a master class or something coming up that you're going to be involved with?
Yes, I have a master class on March 25th. I'm doing one, and they have been doing a whole series of them over the quarantine to try and, give the campers somewhere to go and to hang out. And I think it's brilliant. I mean, they've had everyone from Roger Daltrey. I mean, it's just amazing the people they've had on. And the movie just came out, and I gotta tell you, the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp movie just came out, and it's on most of the streaming services. It is an awesome film. I mean, if people want to watch a feel-good movie and really understand what David Fishoff did when he created Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, this movie made me laugh. It made me cry. I literally cried like several times because the stories are so powerful when you hear these people that are, the love of music and what it did to them to be part of these camps. And it's like four misfits all getting together. We all get together, and we don't know how good someone's going to be, or if they have enough talent, but we take whatever they have, we make it work, and we get on stage. And it's so powerful that if people can see the movie, check it out. I'm in it for like 2 seconds. So it's not about me, man, at all. It's about the campers. And so I've seen through the whole quarantine, even myself, I've been going online more and doing just random live streams and inspiring people with guitar and telling them how to play. You can do it. And it is phenomenal to see, because I said one day online, I said, what are you going to do when this year goes by? Are you going to just say, well, I didn't do anything? I mean, learn a guitar, become a dancer, become a painter, like figure something out, or get back in shape. Like, I'm in the best shape of my life because—
Oh my God. And your food. I have to talk about your food. Some of the
my
things
food
that you're
posting.
posting that you're making is crazy. You did like this, was it last weekend, that berry thing? There was like berries and
Yep.
like some kind of like a yogurt thing where I just like woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, look at how healthy, and the working out and everything. Like, you've been really inspirational in doing a lot. You're taking that time and using it wisely.
Well, I figured if we're off the road, why don't we at least get healthy? Because the other part of it is, Terrie, is the depression has been kicking in for so many people that I felt myself kind of getting depressed,
Yeah,
Mr.
we have
Positive.
fatigue. I'm with you. The
Yeah.
fatigue is overwhelming. You feel like it's COVID fatigue. It's, somebody described it to me. A listener called last week and she said, I'm not really doing a whole lot of anything, but I feel tired all the time. And it's just that sense of worry and that fatigue, and what is the next month going to bring, and what, how does last month going to affect me, and how, it's that whole COVID fatigue thing. And I think that, yeah, if you get in that mindset of doing something super positive, and I've seen your workouts are just crazy. Now I've been inspired now watching, people like you. I'm going, wow, look at Gary, and look at you now. Like, I can see the whole, you're kind of jacked up there. You're like kind of pumped.
Well, you know what? I'm not like ripped or anything, but
You look kind of
I
ripped.
just—
No, you do. You do.
I felt
I
like
see
we were—
muscles. I see the muscles there. I
the
see
gun shows every day this week.
the gun show, baby.
But this thing, it's like sedentary, just sitting around, like we all don't realize, even though we're not back to normal, we're so far not back to normal. I mean, we used to go to the mall, we would jump up and run out and, go to dinner, or like all the things that would get us physically moving. We're not doing as much of it. So what got me going was I wanted to motivate people to not be depressed. And I felt less depressed every day when I did a little bit of a workout, and I felt like I could just think about my body and my mind. And I got to tell you, for Christmas, my wife and kids got me this Fitbit, and I have a Fitbit watch, and I thought these were so goofy, but it keeps track of my, not only my steps, but it kind of gives me a little vibration. It says, hey, you've been sitting for a long time, why don't you get up and move a little? And it actually tells me to get up and move.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep this
The
crusade
Fitbit
going
is
to
the
try—
second wife. Fitbit is like the second wife. Fitbit's like get off your ass and start moving. Wife number 2 is the Fitbit.
Yeah, exactly. And I can take it off once in a while, but but yeah, I'm feeling like, I want to keep this crusade going because, it's something that we all need to do, and we need to stick together. And I never wanted to disappear from my fans when this pandemic hit. I said, I want to be there for them. because I don't want them to forget about me, and I don't want them to, I don't want to forget about them. And I've never felt closer to my fans. I've never felt closer before than now because of all this. I just feel more connected.
Yeah. And who else I love? I'm loving Coffee Time with Mom. Your mom is so adorable, and she's such a character. And you really have, reconnected with Mom. Mom is never that far from you. You've been spending a lot of time with Mom and getting her involved in becoming a personality. And so how does Mom feel about all of this now? And she's such a cute lady too.
Thank you so much. Well, my mom has a personality. That's probably why I'm the way I am. She, when COVID hit, her husband passed away a few years ago, my stepfather. So I started going over and having coffee with her every day at 3:00 to give her something to look forward to. And she just kept saying the funniest things and doing the silliest things. And I would try to make her laugh, and I'd bring my guitar and play a song. And I said, I got to put you on Facebook one day, Mom. It'll be so funny. And so I started hanging with Hoey. I started that. And then I said, Mom, what if we do Coffee Time with Mom? Would you go on this week? And she said, sure, I'll go on with you. And it just happened very organically again. And a lot of fans sent me private messages saying, I don't have my mom anymore. I lost my mom. And you guys bring me so much joy. Please keep doing it.
That. Oh, Mom, that must make Mom so happy too.
It does. And she's, she's a little ham. She loves to, when we get off the air, she looks
she's
and
the
sees
cutest.
the comments.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her. She's like the cutest thing ever.
And thank you so much. And she goes along with whatever I say. She's like, okay, Gary, what do you want to do? And so, it's really just become another way of me getting through this in a sane way, and feeling like I'm helping my fans and making them feel special, and connecting with my mother. And so she doesn't know this, but I left my graphic designer last week. We have mugs coming and T-shirts that say Coffee Time with Mom.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
so I'm
awesome.
going to bring it on her, on one of the shows. I'm going to bring them out and say, Mom, guess what? You're famous. And she's just going to love it.
Oh, and when we Zoom again, I want Mom. You got to Zoom from Mom's house. Can we do it from Mom's? I would love to have Mom on the Zoom too. I would love to do a little interview with you and Mom together.
I'm sure she would love it. She would be up to it. So if you want to have me and Mom on, we can do it from her house. We'll Zoom right from there.
I would love to do that. And you know what? I miss seeing your face.
Maybe Mother's Day or something.
That would be amazing. That would be fantastic. Let's do that. Seriously. I miss seeing your face in Jersey. I miss seeing your face at the door of WDHA and coming in and bringing your guitar and hanging out with us. You've always been like family to us. And I'm so happy when I heard that you were available to do this. I was like, yes. Because I think I've even made comments even on your page like, you got to come on with Mom. Like, we got to get you on with Mom. So I'm so happy that we were able to connect. And I want people to know, if you want to get in for this intimate show at the Landis Theater in Vineland, get your tickets. Go to Gary's website, GaryHoey.com.
Yep, GaryHoey.com. There's a link right on the homepage.
And grab your tickets, because I'm telling you, they're not going to last long. These shows are basically all sold out. And I love you. I miss you. And I'm so happy that we were able to do this today. It was so great to see your fabulous face. And can you play us out a little bit? Can you play us out a little bit with something?
Yep, absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you, too, for having me on, Terrie, because you are definitely one of my favorites. And you are one of the, not only the greatest people I know, but you're one of the best DJs. And you just, your support and love for me, I really, really mean that. You're one of my faves.
Love you. Thank you.
In the world. So all right, I'm going to play a little bit for you. I'm going to play a little bit of rock and roll. This is one of my songs here. I bought you flowers, baby. Think I'm messing around. I work all week now, so you can shop downtown. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Can make you love me if you want.
Gary Hoey, love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Love you too.
DHA's Reconnect with Rockers is powered by Karis Lock Company, your full-service locksmith.